So, me and Danny have been reading the chronological Bible and read the Bible in a year, right? So, what's been really interesting about that is I've never actually read the Bible from beginning to end. The way I've always kind of approached it was wherever the sermon was going to take us, right? Or like I just pop open the book, or like I kind of want to read this book. The thing that is just like here, we just got into the New Testament. So I found myself desiring and waiting and had an anticipation of what the New Testament was going to bring. And like, if you've never actually looked at the New Testament, is like this thick. The Old Testament is this thick. The problem is, the Old Testament, it's the same stories over and over again. And like, that's why you're so anticipating and looking forward to the New Testament, is because the Old Testament is very cyclical. Other than like some of the key like stories like in Genesis, when Moses gets the law in Leviticus, but like you get through Exodus, but once the people are in Israel, it's a lot of the same stories. And it's blown me away thinking about the law and how it was like the people aren't adhering to the law. And Jesus talks about this in the Sermon on the Mount. It is like, if you do this in your mind, you've already committed it, right? And the problem is with the law, it's like, as long as this is my physical reaction, like I'm good. But there was no way to actually follow the law in its entirety. Now, God was cool and gave the way of atoning for your sins and stuff, but there was no way to actually maintain the law. And what I found incredibly interesting, and I don't hear people talking about it very much, is there's only a few individuals that you can look at in the Old Testament as like that person gave everything to God. Gave everything. Like David is a man after God's own heart, right? Like it wasn't that David was perfect, but he sought and desired a relationship with God. And that's what kept him in line for the most part. But human nature still was human nature, right? Solomon was raised on the pursue after God. And the moment that he lost the focus of God and started looking at himself, that's where Solomon fell apart. So it's incredible that the Old Testament just sets up this very cyclical pattern. You can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. There's a few individuals that give me their heart and I call them out by name, right? And then Jesus shows up and says, you can't do it. You know, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And give your heart to me, right? So, just one of those really fascinating things that I never expected when I was reading the Bible from beginning to end, is how much I'd be anticipating and excited to read the New Testament. Because without the Old Testament, without seeing how much we suck as human beings, you don't see what incredible of a gift that Jesus Christ is. If you have any questions, let me know. I can try and answer them. If not, I can pray with you.